With that all finished, I think I'm ready to start implementing the combat system for Luminous Realms. I'm really excited to start adding in different kind of attacks and enemies to battle, but that will have to wait for the next video. I also wanted to remake the combat system, but I didn't have enough time, so I put that aside for next time and worked on some easier features like... Finally, after promising it for so many months, I finally made the combat system. At first it was a bit weird and it felt repetitive. I showed my progress to the Discord and I got a lot of feedback regarding the new combat system. One of which was from ISAo, who showed me this cool Kingdom Hearts 2 video talking about Sora's moveset. That's when I found out about the proximity-based combat system that Kingdom Hearts 2 has. Basically, what happens is when Sora attacks, depending on how far an enemy is, or where they are around Sora, or how many of them are there, a different attack is executed. I never knew about that and it totally makes sense. It felt so natural and so cool when playing with Sora and just pressing the X button to attack. So after finally understanding how that all works, I went back to the game and implemented the system. And now the combat feels so cool and fun. Big thanks to my Discord community for all their help with playtesting the game and giving me feedback. By the way, you can join the Discord server where you can get access to play the game and try it out for yourself. You can also share your ideas and feedback there and discuss stuff with the community. You can now also add Luminous Realms to your wishlist on Steam. In order for me to test out the combat system, I needed a place to fight enemies, and just dropping them in a normal stage is kinda boring, so I designed an arena where you can fight waves of enemies that spawn over and over again to test out the combat system and to get a feel of how it is to fight monsters in the game. It was also a great place to test out the enemy AI. Speaking of enemies, I added some new monsters to the game that you can battle. One of those monsters is a flying enemy, and that was a little bit tricky to create because usually enemies walk on the ground and so that's a 2D kind of navigation, but for flying enemies, their movement is more 3-dimensional, so that was a bit challenging because it was my first time working with airborne enemies. So I looked around a little bit online and found a cool plugin that helps me do 3D movement with enemy AIs. Also, this flying enemy can shoot projectiles, and that was interesting to test out to see how it works with the combat. I also added a cool ability where if you swing your weapon at the right moment, you can deflect the projectile back at the enemy and potentially hit them. By the way, if you really like what I'm doing and would love to support, then you can head over to my Patreon where you can get early sneak peeks, progress updates, and a bunch of other exclusive things. Additionally, your name will be mentioned in the game's credits and in videos. Speaking of which, shout out to my gold patrons, Legend64, Pluvius, ISAo, Rat Poison, and Cobra Code. A really cool thing that happened last month was I was able to showcase Luminous Realms at a game event, which was held in Akihabara in Tokyo. It was pretty exciting because it was my first time showing the game publicly. I was a little bit nervous about how people will react to my game, but then I was happy to find out that so many people liked the game. Almost everyone who passed by my booth looked at the game, and most of the time someone was playing the game at my booth. It was a little bit hard for me because I couldn't move around and go take a break to have lunch, but I was able to manage because I designed the demo to just work on its own and restart if someone leaves the game. So in the end it was pretty good. It was also really cool to see how many people saw the similarities between Luminous Realms and Kingdom Hearts and found that really exciting about the game. I was so happy to see so many people playing the game and enjoying it. And I can't wait to showcase the game at future events. And a great thing I got from the event was a lot of feedback, because I made sure to ask everyone to fill out a survey after they played the game. And based on all that feedback, I immediately got back to implementing all the improvements and new systems needed. Like a guard system to guard when enemies attack you, a parry system where when the enemies attack you and you attack at the same time, there will be different outcomes depending on the power of the attack. Additionally, it was time to improve the camera system, which had a few glitches here and there that needed to be fixed as soon as possible, and a much needed revision to the lock-on system. While I implement that, check out my previous devlog. And if you enjoy this kind of Kingdom Hearts inspired devlogs, check out Blood Crisis, which is also a Kingdom Hearts inspired game, and it's a really fun devlog. Until next time, peace!